In a world that's basically designed to distract us, being able to truly focus feels like a superpower, right? Well, today we're diving into 2 powerful ways to get that focus. Not just to get more done, but to actually find more meaning in what we do. Okay, let's get into it.
You know this feeling, I'm sure. You sit down, you're ready to crush it, you have a big task ahead, and suddenly an hour's gone and you've just been tumbling down some rabbit hole of emails, articles, or social media. It's that classic battle between what we want to do and what our brain gets pulled into. But then, there's the other side of it. Those amazing sessions where you're so completely locked in that hours feel like minutes. Your mind is crystal clear, the work just flows out of you, and you honestly feel like you can't be stopped. So these 2 totally different experiences, one super frustrating, the other absolutely magical, they point us toward 2 incredible concepts for mastering our attention: deep work and flow state. Let's break them both down.
Okay, first up, deep work. I want you to think of this as the structured, deliberate, roll-up-your-sleeves approach to focus. This is all about building that attention muscle through pure, hard-nosed discipline.
The author Cal Newport defines it just like this. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like strength training for your brain. It's not always going to feel easy or fun in the moment, but man, it produces results that just bouncing around between tasks could never ever match.
So what does a deep work session actually look like? Well, for starters, it's intentional. You have to schedule it. It is totally distraction-free, meaning your phone is off, your email is closed. It also has to stretch your brain a bit. And here's the kicker. It produces something valuable. This is all about making real progress, not just staying busy.
Now, let's flip the coin. If deep work is the discipline you bring to the table, then flow state is the amazing experience that can happen as a result. This is that feeling of being completely in the zone.
The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi was the pioneer of this whole idea. And the key difference here is it's about absorption, not discipline. You don't muscle your way into flow. You kind of just slide into it when all the conditions are just right. This chart right here is the absolute perfect way to understand flow. Just look at that top right corner. See, flow happens when a task is hard enough to keep you totally engaged. That's the high challenge part. But not so hard that it just makes you anxious. Your skills have to be right there to meet the challenge. It is that perfect, beautiful balance.
And how do you know you're actually in it? Well, time gets all weird. Hours can feel like minutes. Distractions just seem to melt away without you even trying to block them out. And you start to find joy in the process itself, not just in getting to the finish line. It just feels good to be doing it.
Okay, so we've got disciplined deep work on one side and joyful flow on the other. So are they fighting each other? Not at all. In fact, they're actually partners, and they're incredibly powerful partners for creating a work rhythm that you can actually sustain. Understanding their different roles is really the crucial point here. Deep work? That's all about structure, control, discipline. It's focused on producing a specific result. Flow, on the other hand, is spontaneous. It just kind of emerges. It feels effortless, and it's all about the experience itself. You could say one is a choice you make, and the other is a gift you cultivate. And here is maybe the most important takeaway of all. They really need each other. The discipline of deep work is what creates the conditions for flow to even have a chance to show up. And that amazing feeling of flow, that's the reward that makes you want to come back and do it all over again.
So how do you actually get started? With deep work, it is all about structure. You schedule these non-negotiable blocks of time to focus. You build a fortress against distraction. And you have to have a super clear goal for what done looks like. And this one is key. Let your brain get bored sometimes. Don't just fill every empty second with scrolling. That's how you recharge your focus.
Now, inviting flow, that's a different game. You can't really schedule it, but you can absolutely set the stage. Pick a task that stretches you just the right amount. Create a little pre-work ritual. Maybe it's just putting on a certain album. And try to take the pressure of a looming deadline off. And finally, pick something you're actually curious about. Curiosity really is the fuel for flow.
But as we're chasing these incredible peak states, there's a really crucial piece of the puzzle that we almost always miss. And if we ignore it, it can lead straight to burnout.
That's right. Getting into these amazing states of mind, it's not free. All those neurochemicals that make you feel so focused and unstoppable, they are very expensive resources for your brain and for your body.
This quote from a strongman competitor just captures that feeling perfectly. After a super intense peak experience, whether it's an athletic event or just finishing a massive project,
there's almost always a crash. This flow hangover is a real thing. It's your body basically screaming at you that it's time to recover. And this is the fundamental rule that you just cannot ignore. The more intense your flow states get, the more recovery your body and your mind are going to demand. You just can't operate at peak capacity all the time without eventually paying the price. Trying to do that is a direct path to burnout.
So how do we do it? How do we balance this incredible drive for peak performance with the absolute necessity of rest? How do we find a rhythm that we can actually stick with?
Well, the answer might lie in this brilliant concept called hedonic calendaring. It's all about being intentional not just with your work, but with your peak experiences. You literally plan and space out your most intense, flow-inducing activities so you can give yourself time to recharge in between.
And this is a great illustration of what that looks like in the real world. You've got your small, daily flow triggers, like a little bit of creative work. Then weekly, maybe you have a more intense challenge. Monthly, you plan for a longer, deep focus session. And you save those huge, all-out peak experiences, like a championship or a massive deadline, for just a few times a year. It's about managing your energy, not just your calendar.
And really, this brings us to a much bigger idea of what productivity is. The goal isn't just to churn out more stuff. It's to build a life where we actually have the space for deep attention, for joyful creativity, and for that profound sense of fulfillment in our work.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. When you look at your own work and your own life, which of these three things do you need to cultivate most right now? Is it the structure of deep work? Is it the joyful immersion of flow? Or is it the absolutely essential practice of recovery? The answer to that will show you your path forward.